Let's get real. Most men lose not because they're not good enough, but because they care too much. They overthink, they chase, they invest their energy into people who haven't earned it. And worst of all, they attach their self-worth to someone else's approval. That's the game you're stuck in. And the only way to win? Learn the art of detachment. Once you master it, everything, your mindset, your confidence, your relationships, starts to shift. Not because you don't care, but because you finally care about the right things. Here are 6 powerful keys that will teach you how to detach and why it changes everything. Most men tie their emotions to results. They text someone and wait for a reply like their life depends on it. They go on a date and obsess over whether there will be a second. They confess feelings and hold their breath, hoping to hear them back. This kind of thinking creates pressure, anxiety, and desperation. But when you detach from the outcome and focus solely on your actions, the game changes. You stop needing people to respond a certain way in order to feel good about yourself. Instead, you feel powerful because you acted with intention, clarity, and self-respect. The truth is, you can't control how someone else feels, reacts, or chooses. You can be your best self and still not get the result you want. And that's okay. What you can control is the effort you give, the boundaries you set, and the way you carry yourself. Focusing on your actions puts the power back in your hands. It allows you to stay grounded no matter what happens externally. You become less reactive, less fragile, and far more attractive. This mindset is what separates confident men from anxious ones. The confident man says, "I'll show up fully, but I won't cling to any outcome." That kind of calm, steady energy is magnetic. It tells the world, and any woman you deal with, that your sense of self isn't up for negotiation. You can still want connection, success, or love, but you don't need it to feel whole. That's what makes you dangerous in the best way. You're no longer gambling your peace on someone else's decision. You act with strength, then you let go. That's real power. That's detachment. Neediness is the silent killer of attraction, and it stems from one place: fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of losing something you think you can't replace. When you operate from this fear, you start behaving in ways that sabotage your power. You overtext. You overexplain. You try to impress rather than express. You shrink yourself to fit into what you think someone else wants. The moment you make another person the source of your emotional stability, you've handed them control and lost your own. Detachment kills neediness because it shifts your focus from external validation to internal strength. You no longer seek constant reassurance or permission to feel worthy. You know your value with or without applause. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop depending. You stop needing someone to like you to feel like a man. You stop bending your standards just to avoid being alone. You stop treating someone's presence like a reward you have to earn through performance. The man who is truly detached is grounded. He can enjoy connection, but he's not addicted to it. He can appreciate a woman's attention, but he doesn't beg for it. He doesn't fear rejection because he doesn't see it as a reflection of his worth. This kind of energy creates space, mystery, and respect. People feel it. Women sense it. It makes you more appealing, not less, because you're radiating self-sufficiency. You're not there to chase approval. You're there to share your time with someone who aligns with your life. And if they don't, you move forward, not backward. That's not arrogance. It's quiet confidence. When neediness dies, real attraction is born. Emotional control is what separates leaders from followers, and in the world of relationships, it separates the truly masculine from the reactive. When you detach emotionally, you stop making every little thing a test of your worth. You don't spiral when a woman doesn't reply right away. You don't panic when plans change. You don't get thrown off center when someone doesn't give you the validation you were expecting. This isn't about being cold. It's about being in control of your state. Most men lose power because they allow their emotional responses to be dictated by external events. One cold text ruins their whole day. One moment of distance creates anxiety. But when you've mastered emotional detachment, you learn to observe before reacting. You stop making assumptions and start holding your frame. You realize that not everything needs a reaction, especially not one rooted in insecurity or fear. This is the calm confidence women find magnetic. It's not loud and it's not showy. It's the kind of energy that says, I'm in charge of me, no matter what. You do. That energy is rare, and rare is attractive. When you stop letting temporary emotions dictate permanent decisions, you become a man who can't be easily shaken. That steadiness is what people trust, what they gravitate toward, and what ultimately earns you deeper respect in every area of life. Learning to pause, reflect, and respond with clarity instead of emotion is a superpower. It gives you space to decide what aligns with your standards, instead of reacting out of fear of loss. The man who detaches emotionally holds more than just his frame. He holds the keys to long-term influence, control, and peace of mind. And that's the kind of power no one can play with. When you stop chasing outcomes, you start attracting them. The constant pursuit of a specific result, whether it's a woman's affection, her attention, or a relationship, puts you in a state of lack. You're telling the world and yourself that you don't already have enough. That energy repels what you want. People sense desperation, even when it's hidden under charm or politeness. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who's too eager to please or too focused on forcing things to happen. Detachment allows you to engage in life without clinging to results. You can be present, enjoy someone's company, and show interest, but without obsessing over where it's all going. That mindset shift is powerful because it keeps you in control of what truly matters: your own behavior, your own growth, and your own peace. You begin to understand that your worth isn't tied to whether someone likes you, chooses you, or stays with you. It's rooted in how you carry yourself, how you handle pressure, and how you respond when things don't go your way. Ironically, this non-attachment to outcomes makes you more attractive. When people feel that you're not trying to get something from them, they relax. When you're not pressuring the moment or trying to control it, you create space. And in that space, real connection can grow. You stop treating women like prizes to be won and start treating yourself as the prize that doesn't need chasing. You're no longer trying to force the river to flow. You become the man standing still while everything flows to you. This kind of inner calm doesn't just make you more desirable, it gives you peace. You stop taking everything so personally, and you stop needing everything to go your way. You start trusting that what's meant for you won't need to be chased. The ability to walk away is one of the most powerful forms of masculine strength. When a man can detach from a situation, especially one that isn't serving him, he communicates loud and clear that his standards come first. This doesn't mean being cold or emotionless. It means you've built enough self-worth to never stay where you're disrespected, undervalued, or manipulated. Too many men get stuck in relationships or situations because they fear being alone, or they think walking away is a loss. But in truth, staying where you aren't truly respected is the real loss. Walking away doesn't have to be dramatic. It's not about making a scene or proving a point. It's a quiet decision backed by conviction. When you know your value, you don't beg for someone's presence. You don't chase love that feels conditional. You simply observe, assess, and if the energy isn't right, you exit. That level of detachment is rare, and it demands respect. It also forces others to treat you differently. When someone realizes you're not afraid to leave, they step up. And if they don't, you've just saved yourself from wasting more time. This mindset of walking away when necessary also makes you more grounded. You no longer tolerate breadcrumbs. You're not trapped in hope or potential. You're dealing in reality. And the more you build that muscle, the less anxiety you feel in dating and relationships. You no longer fear what might happen if things end, because you trust yourself to move forward regardless. Men who can walk away are men who can't be controlled. They operate from a place of quiet power. They don't demand loyalty. They inspire it. And that calm certainty, that self-trust, makes them magnetic in ways that words never could. Emotional discipline is the foundation of true detachment. It's not about suppressing your feelings, but about mastering your response to them. Most men lose their power because they react. They get angry when ignored, jealous when challenged, or desperate when things don't go their way. In those moments, they hand over control, not just to the situation, but to the person on the other side of it. When a man lacks emotional discipline, he becomes predictable, easily manipulated, and forgettable. But when you develop emotional discipline, you stop letting your emotions dictate your behavior. You pause before reacting. You observe instead of overreacting. You understand that your feelings are real, but not always reliable. This kind of control doesn't make you a robot. It makes you strong. You don't get thrown off your path by a text left unread, a passive-aggressive comment, or a sudden change in someone's tone. You remain centered. That calm presence sends a powerful message. You're a man who's not easy to shake. In dating, this is especially important. Women test emotional control, sometimes consciously, sometimes not. They want to feel your presence, not your panic. If you crumble under small emotional shifts, it communicates instability. But if you stay composed and grounded, you radiate trust and leadership. You become someone others feel safe around, and someone they naturally respect. Mastering emotional discipline doesn't happen overnight. It's a daily practice, one that involves awareness, restraint, and patience. But once you have it, it changes everything. You no longer react just to be heard or validated. You respond with purpose. You speak when it matters. You let silence do the work when it doesn't. And that kind of control, that inner calm, becomes your silent advantage in every part of life. Master this, and you don't just play the game, you become the game changer. Detachment isn't giving up, it's leveling up.